Fill to Capacity, where heart, grit, and irreverent humor collide. A podcast for people too stubborn to quit and too creative not to make a difference. Hi, I'm Pat Benincasa, and welcome back to Fill to Capacity. Today, episode 109. In the middle of madness, this. 10 breakthrough stories you didn't see coming. Okay, let's be real. The news cycle, a full-time job, and emotional whiplash. Doom scrolling has become an Olympic sport. And some days, hope feels like it's in witness protection. But here's the thing. While we've been chasing headlines and holding on to the furniture, incredible breakthroughs are happening. Quietly, boldly, brilliantly. In this episode, we hit pause on the madness. Not to ignore it, but to shine a light on what else is also true. A teenager invents an app to detect heart disease in seconds. Floating farms grow food midair, no soil in sight. Hey, this isn't science fiction. They're real, and they're happening now. This is not a detour from reality. It is reality, one that deserves some airtime. So buckle up. We're going on a joyride through what's working, what's possible, and what's already shaping our world. Breakthrough number 1, plastic that vanishes in seawater. All right, let's talk trash, literally. Scientists in Japan have invented a plastic that dissolves in seawater. I'm not talking about breaking down into microplastic confetti. I mean, it disappears, gone, without a trace. I first saw this on @TechGateway's feed and had to know more. Turns out they've engineered this stuff to be tough on land, but once it hits the ocean, it breaks down into harmless parts. No mess, no poison. Okay, it's called supramolecular plastic. Now don't worry, there's no quiz here, but here's the idea. Smart science using salt water itself to make material fall apart. It's in early stages, but imagine if every plastic bag or bottle could just vanish in the ocean instead of choking it. Breakthrough number 2, a teenager and a 7-second heart check. Okay, at just 14 years old, Siddharth Nanjala from India created a mobile app that can detect heart disease in 7 seconds using artificial intelligence. 7 seconds. I saw this on @TechGateway, and it was also reported by Metropoles, a partner of the TV Bricks. This isn't some future fantasy tech. It's working now. A teen designed it to catch heart problems early, fast, and potentially save lives. No lab, no waiting rooms, just smart code and a brilliant idea. This is what happens when we give young minds the space to think big and actually listen to them. Breakthrough number 3, farms in midair. Really, imagine this, food grown in midair, no soil, no pots, just floating plants. Dutch scientists are making it happen using something called magnetoponics. Basically, magnetic fields are used to levitate seeds that have been coated in special materials. Once floating, those seeds are fed by a nutrient-rich mist instead of dirt. I know, again, this sounds like science fiction, but it's real, and I first saw it reported again at Tech Gateway. Their post dives into the tech, no soil, no waste, no land use. AI even helps control the light, temperature, and humidity. So why does this matter? Because if we're going to feed people in a hotter, more crowded world, we're going to need bold, efficient, and clean ways to grow food. This just might be one of them. Breakthrough number 4, turning car emissions into oxygen. Wow, take a deep breath, because this one's literally about cleaning the air. According to Good News Movement on Instagram, 2 18-year-olds, Rohan Kapoor and Jack Reichert, created a 3D printed filter that attaches to a car's exhaust pipe and uses algae to turn carbon emissions into oxygen. They call it the Go Green filter, and it's inspired by MIT professor Isaac Berzin's research. Their design uses light and photosynthesis, just like plants do, to absorb CO2 right out of the exhaust. In tests, it cut carbon emissions by over 74%. Whoa, that's not a tweak, that's a game changer. They won the 2023 Changemaker Challenge. Again, high schoolers fixing the future. Breakthrough number 5, restoring movement with stem cell therapy. This one is just amazing. Japanese scientists, led by Dr. Hideyuki Okano at Keio University, have helped a paralyzed man stand up and start walking again. Thanks to the world's first spinal cord therapy using something called iPS cells, small I, capital P, capital S cells, and that stands for induced pluripotent stem cells, which is a fancy way of saying they took adult cells, reprogrammed them to act like embryonic cells, and turned them into the kind of nerve cells needed to repair the spinal cord. This trial, shared by @TEDx Gateway on Instagram, marks a major leap in regenerative medicine. The man was previously paralyzed. Now he's up, standing on his own, and practicing walking. You know, I couldn't help but think about Christopher Reeves with this one. Breakthrough number 6, from sign to speech. AI meets inclusion. Some breakthroughs start with big funding. This one started with a mom saying, "Everyone's building something these days." That's all it took for Priyanajali Gupta, an engineering student in India, to get to work. She built an AI tool that translates American Sign Language into English in real time using a webcam. TEDx Gateway featured her on Instagram, and here's what's so amazing. Using TensorFlow model and deep learning, Ms. Gupta trained the system to recognize 6 basic signs like hello and thank you. And now she's working on full sentences, making it even smarter and more accurate. This isn't just clever, it's meaningful. A student saw a gap in how we communicate, and instead of waiting, she bridged it. Breakthrough number 7, train tracks that power the grid. In Switzerland, the rails don't just carry trains, they now help power the country. According to Science and Astronomy on Facebook, Switzerland is installing solar panels between train tracks, turning its national railway system into a massive dual-purpose energy source. These panels are built to handle vibrations, debris, and the weight of train traffic, all while soaking up sunlight throughout the day. And because they're placed between the rails, they don't take up any extra land or disrupt the landscape. It's a brilliant case of what they call infrastructure synergy, using what's already there to do more than one thing. In this case, move people and generate clean electricity. The sun powers the rails help power the nation. Breakthrough number 8, the paint that's cooler than air conditioning. Okay, I'm an artist. Somehow I have to work in a story about paint. But let's talk about this paint because it is seriously cool. Engineers at Purdue University have created the world's whitest paint, and it reflects 98.1% of sunlight. That means instead of soaking up heat, it bounces it right back, even into space. This breakthrough was shared by famous.pulse on Instagram. And here's the kicker. In testing, this paint kept rooftops up to 10 degrees cooler in blazing sun and nearly 19 degrees cooler at night. That's better performance than most cool roof coatings, and it uses 0 energy. Coat your roof with this stuff, and it's like installing a silent, invisible AC system that doesn't need a plug. Wider use could shrink power bills, cut urban heat, and help fight climate change. Sometimes innovation isn't loud, it's just really bright. Breakthrough number 9. One brilliant teen, 2 global problems, 1 portable solution. At 17, most of us were figuring out how to parallel park. But Cynthia Sin Naga Lam, she was building a machine to bring both clean water and electricity to communities with neither. Cynthia, a student from Australia, created H2 Pro, a lightweight, portable device that uses sunlight to purify water and generate electricity. No batteries, no plug, just sun. Here's how it works. A titanium mesh activated by sunlight kills bacteria in water. At the same time, that same solar reaction, called photocatalysis, splits water molecules to produce hydrogen, which can then be used to generate electricity. And get this, contaminants in the water actually boost the energy output. Cynthia's design made her a finalist at the Google Science Fair. It's efficient, low cost, and meant for places off the grid, where people need solutions, not slogans. One device, 2 lifelines, all powered by light. Finally, breakthrough number 10. Skin cells into neurons. No detour required. This comes from bioengineer.org, and it's a biggie. MIT researchers have figured out how to turn skin cells directly into neurons, skipping the complicated, weeks-long process of turning them into stem cells first. Now, that might sound like a minor shortcut. It's not. Until now, creating neurons for things like spinal cord repair or treating neurodegenerative diseases meant reprogramming cells into what's called induced pluripotent stem cells, and then coaxing those into becoming neurons. It's slow, messy, and often inefficient. But this new method cuts right to the chase. Skin cells go straight to fully functional neurons, which could seriously speed up therapies for people who need them. No lab detour, no developmental limbo, just direct, usable brain cells, faster and cleaner. That's not just a scientific breakthrough. That's a huge leap towards real healing. So yeah, while the headlines stoke fear and sell chaos, these stories remind us someone's out there fixing what's broken. From algae-powered car filters to brain cells made from skin, it's not all doom. It's also brilliance, grit, and the quiet rebellion of people who refuse to settle for "that's just how it is." Hope doesn't always shout. Sometimes it hacks the system. Until next time, stay curious, stay stubborn, and remember, ready or not, the light will find you. Take care. Bye.